So, what happens when you take one of the most dominant decks in the meta in Monoblack and add two of the most powerful red cards into the mix? You get today's deck, Rakdos Midrange. Everything you know and love from Monoblack is in here. 3 Tenacious Underdog, 2 Reckoner Bankbuster, 4 Sheoldred, and 2 Phyrexian Fleshgorger. In terms of those red cards we spoke about, 4 Fable of the Mirror Breaker and 4 Bloodtithe Harvester. Yes, technically it's red, shut up. Quite the removal package. We've got 4 Cut Down, 3 Go for the Throat, 2 Liliana, 1 Soul Transfer, and 4 Invoke Despair. And then in terms of lands, there's 25 of them. Your typical Rakdos fare, although there are 2 Xander's Lounge, so that we can start cycling in the late game. That's the deck. Let's get into the games. Alright, going on the draw, we'll keep this hand. It's quite good. It's quite reactive, but it's quite good all the same. Opponent plays a turn 1 tapped Shipwreck Marsh. Esper? Yeah, Esper. There's Dennick, which we can respond to with a cut down. Yep, looks like Esper Legends, so we'll play the Reckoner Bankbuster here. We can leave up Go for the Throat. We could Soul Transfer that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave everything open. We don't have to play the Bloodtithe Harvester just yet. Want to see what else they play. There's another Tenacious Underdog. Opponent's stuck on 2 lands, which is good for us. There's a Sokenzan. There's Sheoldred. I'm not going to do anything here. Nah. Destroy Evil? Esper doesn't play Destroy Evil. We'll crew up here. That's not a good card. It is a good card, but that's not what you should be playing in Esper Legends. Well, there's backup Sheoldred in case there was any doubt. Yeah, there we go. On the draw, we'll keep this. We have 25 lands. 2 is not a lot, but it gives us plenty of opportunity to draw. We've got things like Reckoner Bankbuster, things like that. And Fable of the Mirror Breaker too. Alright, let's see what we can do. Looks like our opponent is on mono blue, so I want to play Sulfurous Springs on turn 1. The traditional Consider. I want access to black mana so I can play Cut Down. Looks like I'll just play out the Reckoner Bankbuster. Make Disappear, makes sense. Alright. Play the Fable of the Mirror Breaker here. Okay. Cool. Sheoldred. That was very quick. Okay. Sheoldred sticking, which tells me there's no Fading Hope. Would have thought they would play Fading Hope. There's a Hortigen, however. Let's attack for 4. Let's play down Phyrexian Fleshgorger as well. How are you tapping for that? Okay, the way I want it to. Let's pat the back. Ooh. Okay. Cool. Let's play the Bloodtithe Harvester now. I will also discard a card. Shockingly, don't need 3 Invoke Despairs. Let's sneak in for 3. Yep, no worries. We'll go down to 15. They could have Make Disappear here. However, I think there is also an argument that if they have Negate, they have Negate. But if they could negate this, that would be great. Alright. Again, just gonna chip away. Yeah, sure. They could have lethal here. Yeah, this isn't looking good. They need to find... They had to cast 3 spells and they win. They can't do it. We will discard the Cut Down and the Fleshgorger so that we can draw more cards. Yep, there we go. Alright, going first. Very reactive, but if we're up against an aggressive deck, we are in heaven. So I'm going to keep. Turn 1 Swamp for the Cut Downs. Typically when I see Sulfurous Springs, I think Grixis, but the Kamano tells me otherwise. We'll play Bloodtithe Harvester on 2. We could be up against a Spicy Brew. Bloodtithe Harvester, okay. Interesting. So I am actually just going to go for the throat that. Go to combat. End the turn. We can deal with this Mana Face Kaxan rather handily. Oh, opponent's not drawn a land if they're hovering the blood token. Hey, just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, no problem. We are just going to cut down this Etching of Kamano. I'll attack with the Bloodtithe Harvester. They might have to block with Gix here. They choose not to. So we'll play Sheoldred. Forcing them to use Go for the Throat here is not the end of the world. Yep. I think we're slightly ahead. Gix is slightly annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It's unfortunate that 3+3 does not equal 5 or less. Oh, they didn't get it. So what I can do is I can Bloodtithe Harvester and exile the Gix now. Because you have to do it as a sorcery, right? And I control 2 blood tokens, so it's getting -4/-4. And then I'm just going to play out the Reckoner Bankbuster. We are in quite a bit of control. Opponent's stuck on 3 lands. They have 5 cards in hand, so they could play Sheoldred. But we have a combination of Bloodtithe Harvester and Cut Down to deal with that. There's Fable. Yeah, my turn. There is a line where we use Cut Down to deal with the Gobbo token. The reason why I want to do that is because I don't want them to gain any treasure. And remember, they're stuck on 3 lands, so the more they have to discard here, the better. Can really put a lot of pressure on them. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Yeah, this is the Rakdos Mishra version. It's very similar to this deck, but it plays Mishra and said Dragon Engine. Cool, now we can just get rid of these. Yeah, my turn. Let's see, it has double strike, so we do need to be a bit careful. But if we just play out the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, that is an option. I'm on 16 though. I have plenty of time. And Fable of the Moorbreaker, Reflection of Kiki-Jiki will come in untapped. With Summoning Sickness, sorry. So, we're okay. So that if we draw an untapped land next turn, we can just play Phyrexian Fleshgorger. And we have, obviously, an extra draw with Reckoner Bankbuster. And we have the Faithless Looting with Fables Chapter 2. Basically, we've got a lot going on. Yeah, nothing from me. I'm gonna let this slide. Down to 12. We'll draw a card. There's a cut down. Oh, 1 mana short. That's really unfortunate. I don't actually need to get rid of anything. This is pretty good. It's unfortunate, but I am going to have access to... Next turn... If I play Phyrexian Fleshgorger now, I'll have access to some pretty nutty things. There's also a world where I can just cut down the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. I think that is actually genuinely the play here. I can use the Reckoner Bankbuster to create a body. Opponent really digging for that Mishra, claimed by Gix. I do like Gix. Gix is a good card. Remember, they can unearth and hit me for 8 here. So I think, see, that because Phyrexian Dragon Engine costs 5 to unearth. And it is a viable thing for my opponent to do. Yet another Fable. Are you serious? Are you serious? We will draw another card here. There's Takenuma. And I will just block. Perfect. Don't mind that. Opponent only has 1 card left in their hand. I will just play out the Sokenzan here, so that I don't have to give up any treasure tokens. See what my opponent wants to do. I am on 8. They kind of need to kill this Reflections of Kiki-Jiki. What have I got in the yard? Bloodtithe Harvester. Oh, I could bring back Bloodtithe Harvester. There's also a Sheoldred. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent's down to 5. Genuinely think opponent's drawn 1. There's 1 Fable. Second's out. Third one's there. Yeah, my turn. If I attack here, they have to block it, and they have to block with 2 things, and Reflection has Summoning Sickness. So I am going to attack here. Yep. Up to 15. Do I just Takenuma for Phyrexian Fleshgorger and then play Fable? I think I do. There we go. And end the turn. Yep. Opponent's refilling. Such a good ability, by the way. The Unearth ability. See what they want to do. They can copy it with one of the Reflections. I'm happy with this. Go to my turn. Yeah, we'll discard the swamp. There's a Sheoldred. Yeah, I'll just play out the Fleshgorger again. And end the turn. There's another Gix. See if they can figure it out. Yeah, there we go. Absolutely insane. I am kind of reliant on finding an Invoke Despair, and I think one of them is in... None of them are in the graveyard. Okay. Invoke Despair is the only thing that can save me at this point. Oops, indeed. Happily discard this. Oh, they could have easily won. What? Oh, opponent. Nah. This game is not over. You serious? You make things with reflection of Kiki Jiki. I get that Phyrexian Fleshgorger costs 7, but there are ways around this. I promise you there's ways around it. It is what it is. Alright, looks like we are on the draw. This is not a good hand. I'm going to mulligan this. Like, there's no real way of developing our board. Yeah, mulligan. Not much better. We'll keep the 6. We'll take a basic swamp, stick it on the bottom. No play till turn 3, still not great on the draw, but it's okay. Whether we play the Fable or the Phyrexian Fleshgorger depends entirely on what our opponent's playing. Looks like they're Monoblack, based on the swamp on turn 1. No guarantee though. Yeah, that looks like Monoblack to me. This will come into play untapped on turn 3, so we should just play this and... Well, we can't push that we have to go for the throat because it auto-passed. I should have been in full control there. Okay, opponent's stuck on 2 land. Typically, I would play out the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, but I think I want to draw some extra things. So I'm going to play Fable of the Mirror Breaker here. We'll make a 2/2 token. And then we'll give us access to treasure next turn so that we can play the Sheoldred of the Apocalypse. But that's now not happening. Well, wasn't expecting that. We are now on 14. There's Gala Greeters. If they play an Evolved Sleeper here, we could be in trouble. I'm going to get rid of the Fable of the Mirror Breaker and we're not casting Invoke Despair anytime soon. So I'm going to submit those 2. There we go. A backup Sheoldred just in case. Okay. Looks like we are going to force our opponent to go for the throat here. They don't have it. Excellent. There's Braids. Yeah, they don't attack. That's sensible. Each opponent doesn't, that player loses 2 life and draw a card. Shockingly, I will decline that. So they get to draw a card. However, I also get Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's super unfortunate. I don't get the land. If I draw a land there, I can play both Go for the Throat and Phyrexian Fleshgorger. So instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut down the Gala Greeters. I'm then going to play Liliana with the Veil at -2. It means I keep Go for the Throat in my hand.
One of your friends has to leave.
I'm going to attack for 4 here. And we're in good stead. What we could do next turn is that we can play out a prototyped Phyrexian Fleshgorger. and copy it. However, my opponent does get their second cut down of the game. Tenacious Underdog comes in. There's a Tenacious Underdog of our own. We could blitz in the Tenacious Underdog. However, I don't think that's the best idea. Nonetheless, I am going to attack here. If our opponent has Disfigure, that would be slightly unfortunate. I think I am going to play Tenacious Underdog to put our opponent on a 1-turn clock and keep Go for the Throat up. That is one option. I can also just play the Phyrexian Fleshgorger and force them to force them to have a second creature, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to end the turn. I have neither the need nor the desire to use Liliana. Gonna let that happen.
Fine. I'll take my zombie.
We have a Go for the Throat. Invoke Despair would be tragic. They're dead. Going first here, it's a very good hand, so I'm going to keep it. We have multiple ways of attacking our opponent. Bloodtithe Harvester, Tenacious Underdog, depends on what we see. This is Xander's Lounge. I think, therefore, we'll play Bloodtithe Harvester, because if they want to play a 4-4, then the fact we have double Bloodtithe Harvester makes it easy for us. There's Reckoner Bankbuster. There's a third Bloodtithe Harvester, nice. We'll play this Fable of the Mirror Breaker. No, cancel. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. We just want to put on a ton of pressure on our Grixis opponent, who has done nothing for the first 3 turns. We have a Go for the Throat for something like a Corpse Appraiser. Junkyard Genius, interesting. I'll get rid of the Bloodtithe Harvester and the Tenacious Underdog. Draw, well, that'll do. I will cut down the Junkyard Genius. We'll attack for 5. And we'll play another Bloodtithe Harvester. And we'll end the turn. And the good thing is, as well, is that we are 2 turns away from having Reflection of Kiki-Jiki out and then being able to copy our Bloodtithe Harvester. That's 1 turn for the Saga, and that's 1 turn for the Summoning Sickness to wear off. Yeah, we'll pass turn. We'll play the Sheoldred now. We'll go to combat. I'm happy to attack with one of the Bloodtithe Harvesters. Am I? No, because they might have double removal spell. And if they... Yeah, I'm just going to attack with the token. I want to keep as many of my Bloodtithe Harvesters around as possible. We have a Go for the Throat. And we have Soul Transfer. And because we control both an enchantment in Reflection and artifacts, we can actually do both. So we can return Bloodtithe Harvester or Tenacious Underdog back to our hand, or if they deal with Sheoldred, we can return Sheoldred to our hand as well. That's as long as they don't deal with Reflection of Kiki-Jiki, of course. And Grixis says, I've seen enough. Alright, opponent goes first. This is a good hand, we'll keep it. We have access to cut down on 1, Fable of Mirrorbreaker on 3. Cut down's too big of a turn 1 play to play the Haunted Ridge, so we have access to Bloodtithe Harvester on 2. Opponent goes down to 6. There's a Liliana of the Veil. This might be Jeskai Reanimator. Yeah, there's Fable. Okay. I will just cut this down now. I do think this is Jeskai Reanimator, so those cut downs aren't doing much for me. Let's see what they put in there. Temporal Firestorm and Sokenzan. Interesting. They must know something I don't know. I'm going to keep the Soul Transfer because It can deal with Cityscape Leveler, but I am going to sack off both Bloodtithe Harvesters. Actually, I'll sack off one, and I'll get rid of... No, Lily can just force them to sacrifice a Cityscape Leveler, but I've got Soul Transfer for that, so I might actually just get rid of Lily. I don't really want them discarding cards. This could be a big mistake, but I guess we're about to find out. Haunted Ridge. I am going to attack here so that I can create a treasure token. And then if I can get the Invoke Despair off, perfect. That kills their Fable. I just think Bloodtithe Harvester and Reflection of Kiki-Jiki is too powerful a combination. Now, if they counter this, it's not great, but there's Wandering Emperor. Yeah, that's fine.
Now you've done it. Ask, may your blade strike true.
It's not what I would have done. Just give me the 2 cards. Like, you can afford to go down to 12. There's the second Fable, sure. Go to combat here. Yeah, no problem. We'll play the Bloodtithe Harvester. We'll play the Tenacious Underdog as well. A slight overextension maybe. Like, you might be thinking, oh no, Brotherhood's End. Yeah, Soul Partition's fine. But my opponent's on 15. If I play those out, it puts my opponent on a 2-turn clock. What did they get rid of? Nothing but net. Okay, cool. Stern Lesson. Oh, opponent's really digging. Found another land. Not really something to repair and recharge either. Even Invoke Justice isn't looking good. They do have the white for it. But nonetheless. Here we go. Gonna attack for 6 here. I have no problem playing out this Fable again. I could have played the Tenacious Underdog and the Bloodtithe Harvester, but again, opponent is Jeskai Reanimated. They can play things like Brotherhood's End. We've seen Temporal Firestorm. There's the Fairy. Excellent. This is where Soul Transfer really gains a lot of value. My turn. Reckoner Bankbuster and Bloodtithe Harvester can go to the bottom. Actually, I'll put the Tenacious Underdog to the bottom. Invoke Despair. Do I just go for Invoke Despair here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I do, you know. And then I can attack with the Gobbo token. Boom! I really like Jeskai Reanimator, actually. I think it's a good deck. I think my opponent just got ridiculously unlucky, but them's the breaks. So look, the deck is pretty good. The problem is that there are no proactive 1-drops, so no Evolve Sleepers, no Commander Face Kakazan, things like that. And that actually does pose a problem, because then the deck doesn't really get going until turn 2, turn 3. And there are decks in this format, such as Azorius Soldiers, Monoblack, that have a better mid-game than we do. And that's a problem. That's a real problem. This deck really suffered against Azorius Soldiers, I'm not going to lie. The lack of mass removal or board wipes or things like that is something you may want to consider when building this deck. Do you want to play Path of Peril, for example? That might be something you want to consider. you play more copies of Xander's Lounge so that you can play Dreg to the bottom. I wouldn't do that, but that's just an example. You can also go a more synergistic version of the deck. You could play Gix for extra card draw. It goes really well with Sheoldred and the Bloodtithe Harvesters. You can also play, obviously, the obvious combo, which is Phyrexian Dragon Engine and Mishra claimed by Gix. But I think that's a different deck. But nonetheless, I think it's fascinating what that deck can do, and maybe find ways of building around that. And yeah, it's a fascinating deck. Is it better than Mono Black? I'm not convinced. Mono Black has more explosive turn 1 plays. It also has a more explosive mid game, whereas this it's not as explosive. I'm saying explosive a lot, but it's a bit more stable. But it's entirely up to you. Your mileage will vary on this. I would play Mono Black to climb on the ladder, simply because you are using a lot of wild cards for the rare lands. And if you're looking to upgrade the Mono Black deck into something else, I think you actually don't go Rakdos, you go Grixis. That's my personal opinion, but let me know what you think in the comments below. I will be back soon. I've been ill the past few days, it's been unfortunate. But yeah, I'll be back soon with another deck. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye-bye!